We are living in the midst of a moment. In just the last couple of weeks, it feels like the world has both turned completely upside down and at the same time come to a grinding halt. And now we find ourselves sitting at home watching news report after news report about where this all is headed, how long this all may last, how bad it may get. And there's fear and there's anxiety, but there's also pain and grief as well. And all of this exists on multiple complex levels. On one level, you have the natural and obvious anxiety, grief, and pain about the virus itself. How long is this going to last? How many will get sick? How many might die? Will I lose someone I love? Will I get sick myself? How did this even happen in the first place? Why were we so unprepared for any of this? Why didn't we do more to stop it before it got this bad? Anxiety and pain and grief may also exist about the economic situation and the long-term implications and impact that this may have on our families and communities if businesses remain shut down and people remain unable to work. And these are thoughts and feelings that may be swirling around in your mind and heart. I posted a video about 3 ways to deal with stress and anxiety. You'll see a link on your screen, and I encourage you to go watch that. So there's anxiety and grief and pain about the virus, about the economy, but there is another level too, because there is grief and pain and disappointment over so many things that were planned and looked forward to. Cancellations of trips for birthdays or vacations. Postponements of weddings, concerts, other events. Entire sports seasons that just ended. And all of this seemed to happen in a moment. Everything was on track. And then just an instant later, everything's gone. And it leaves us now not knowing what to do except to sit and watch the news come in and simply say, it wasn't supposed to be this way. Whatever way you feel, it's okay. If you're anxious and angry about the virus, it's okay. If you're worried about the economic situation, it's okay. If you're disappointed or grieving lost experiences, it's okay. Because what can happen in situations like this is that we can start to feel guilty. For example, that we're experiencing disappointment over a trip when people are fighting for their lives. But the reality is, it isn't even really about the trip itself, is it? And it isn't about the disease itself, and it isn't about the economy itself. It's about the experience we were going to have. The relationships we were going to build and strengthen. And the grief and pain we're feeling is made even stronger by the amount of sickness and death we see, because we start to wonder what else we're going to lose. We question whether or not we'll have the chance to make those memories again, or even see those people that we'll love again. Because the moment we are living in is a profound disruption. We were in a pattern, moving forward on autopilot, expecting that things were going to continue to be as they had always been, and then this virus comes along and disrupted that. And that disruption has forced us to stop and sit and confront autopilot mode. It's forced us to confront the fact that any control we thought we had was the weakest of illusions. It's forced us to confront these questions and anxieties and this pain that we now realize was always just beneath the surface. It's just that for most of us, we've gotten really, really good at distracting ourselves from it. We're in a moment of profound disruption. But the thing about disruption is sometimes disruption is the only way to bring about creation. I often tell my clients that my job isn't to hypnotize them, because they've already done that to themselves. They're already in a trance, and the reason they come to me is because that trance isn't working for them anymore. So my job is to dehypnotize them by disrupting that trance and then helping them to create a better one for themselves. Disruption is sometimes the only way to ignite the creative part of ourselves to dream up something better. And that creation works on an individual level. How can we be creative in this moment with our relationships? What can we create for our businesses that can help us better serve more people? What can we create and do artistically and intellectually that can open our minds and others' minds to new ways of being in the world? But then that creation works on a macro level, a society-wide level as well. Because it's not just us individually that have been living in a trance. We, as a society, as a nation, as a world, have been living in ways that simply don't work for us. And if we use the disruption of this moment as an opportunity, maybe we can dream up something better. What kind of society do we want to be? What do we want to reprioritize? What kinds of ideals do we want to adhere to? There are some that keep referring to the future as when things go back to normal. But my question for you is that what we really want? Do we want to go back to autopilot trances where we look forward to occasional moments where memories can be made through shared experiences? Or do we want something new? Something better for ourselves and the people we love? One of my favorite authors and speakers and podcasters is Rob Bell, who will often end his talks by giving a benediction to his audience. And while I don't normally do this, it feels right in this moment. So may you, in the midst of anxiety and grief and pain and disappointment, may you find moments of joy and peace and hope. May you reconnect with your loved ones and with yourself. May this disruption spark within you creativity like you have never known. May it propel us all towards a better, more caring, more loving world. And may we all be safe, well, healthy, and whole.